What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Darian's Competitive Pokemon. I'm going to be playing a game on PTCGO, and I'm rocking it with Decidueye. This is just the good old Decidueye list, Rainbow Energies, Ninetales, all that. I am sick and tired of getting paired against decks on PTCGO that just would take a fat L to Decidueye, so I'm just rocking it. I'm pretty confident that I'm going to do fine with it. I've been trying to play just like metagame stuff, but the crazy thing about PTCGO as compared to like tournament metagames is that the metagame on PTCGO actually kind of evolves quicker, and people will just play hate decks way more often on PTCGO than they do in real life. So if you're playing like Gardevoir GX on PTCGO, you're probably going to run into like some Registeel decks, you're probably going to run into some other crazy stuff, and you just might not ever play against just your metagame decks. You're probably not going to play against just your Gardevoir decks. You're probably not just going to play against your Garbodor decks. You're going to get paired against all this like wacko stuff that's just like built to beat you. So I am just going to roll in with the deck that I like the best. I just love Decidueye. It might not be the best tournament deck right now, but I bet you I can cop some wins on PTCGO with it. So let's just see how we do. Now, I do have a little bit of a weird hand here. I'm going to Tapu Lele GX for this Bridget, and I'm going to get 2 Rowlet. But the thing is, I don't think I can really afford to get a third Pokemon, just because I need to save room for next turn so that I can Ultra Ball and get a Tapu Lele to continue drawing cards. So I am just going to get 2 of these Rowlets, and then I am going to attach my Rainbow Energy to the active Vulpix, so that way I can evolve that into a into the Alolan Ninetales. Gotta actually make sure that's in there. I didn't check for that. Keeping things rolling here pretty quickly, but I am playing against Gardevoir GX, so this should be a pretty good matchup. I have heard some musings about Gardevoir GX being paired with Max Potion lately. That would not be the best thing for my Decidueye deck if I happen to get paired against that. But oh, my opponent just mumbles. They don't even retreat. What? They are not scared of me at all, apparently. So they don't think that I'm going to knock out this Ralts. However, I bet you I do. I bet you I do knock out this Ralts. So let's see. I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Rowlet and the Decidueye here. Let's see. I can get the Alolan Ninetales. And then I can Rescue Stretcher those Pokemon back into the deck. That's pretty cool. So I am going to evolve this here. Going to Rescue Stretcher those 2 Pokemon back in. Yep, 3 Pokemon, shuffle them in. Let's do those. Shuffle. And then just go ahead and Sycamore. And if we get a double colorless energy, I mean, we are going to be doing pretty good, but we didn't. So that's fine. We're going to have to go for plan B. Let's just go ahead and... what do we do? Let's put this other Vulpix down, and then I'm just going to retreat and just beacon here. Get myself like 2 Dartrix, something like that. And we're just going to slow roll this one. I don't really want to put this Fairy Energy anywhere in particular right now. Not the Fairy Energy, the Rainbow Energy. I'm more or less good just saving it because, maybe I'll need it for something like Espeon EX later in the game. This deck just does not play an infinite amount of energy. Energy is precious. It is limited. We need to be careful with it. So I'm not just going to go slapping that around anywhere. It also, makes my Decidueyes, if I happen to put the Rainbow Energy onto the Decidueye, makes them easier to knock out later in the game. So I'm not, super wanting to put the Rainbow Energy down on the Rowlets preemptively. I would rather wait until the turn that I decide I'm going to Hollow Hunt to put that Rainbow Energy down. So my opponent is loading up this Gardevoir GX. They don't have anything else going on though, so I am okay with this. They had to sack an energy already, as well as double colorless, so this is looking for... Oh, and of course, the next card is the double colorless energy. Naturally, I am very familiar. So let's go ahead. We're going to get some Dartrix out here in action. Then I don't think I necessarily want to put that Tapu Koko down. I think I'd rather just get another Rowlet out. So I might just end up just using Bridget this turn, as weird as that is. I don't really need anything else. Like, I'm cool just, I'm cool just slow rolling this. All I want is one more Rowlet. So I'm just going to get it. Check my deck a little bit. I you know, things are looking good. I got plenty of resources in here. Next turn, we're going to end, and we're just going to hope that we can get ourselves a some Decidueye. So that's it. Just going to Aura Beam. My opponent's got no answer for this Alolan Ninetales right now. There's nothing they could do about it to knock this out. I mean, I guess if they are playing a copy of a Rangaroo, they could power up an Rangaroo in one turn to deal with this Alolan Ninetales. Like, that would be super annoying. But there's no way they're playing an Rangaroo because Octillery is sitting right there, and I just highly doubt that they are playing both of those. So, you know, really don't think the Rangaroo is coming. I think probably the only real answer that they have to this Alolan Ninetales in the deck, if I had to guess, would be a Gallade, which means that this Ralts here is going to be the one taking care of it. So if I can do something like N into a Decidueye and 2 Decidueyes and a DCE, we're going to take that Ralts right out the game, and we're going to be good to go. Not really sure why my opponent preemptively Ultra Ball for the Kirlia there. I think it would have been much smarter of them to Ultra Ball for a Ralts, put that down, and then Abyssal Hand. I know maybe they thought that they want that Kirlia for next turn, but, you know, you end up just being able to draw more cards if you can actually just Ultra Ball for the Ralts instead of the Kirlia. So looks like they are going to GX this turn. That makes sense because they can't actually damage this Ninetales, so they just want to put their resources back into the deck while I just more or less bought myself a free turn. So I'm fine with that. If I wanted to slap this Rainbow Energy down anywhere, I could put it on the Tapu Lele. That's probably like the most reasonable spot for me to do it, just because that, you know, the Tapu Lele can actually get in there in this matchup and do some damage, and just having that extra 20 damage, you know, from having a single energy on the Tapu Lele can make a big difference. But I think I do want to save the Rainbow just in case that I do end up wanting to use it for the you know what I'm talking about. Maybe for Hollow Hunt, maybe for the Espeon. There we go. Espeon, that's what I'm looking for. We're just going to end. Let's go ahead and end. We're going to end. Hope we get some Decidueyes. Come on, come on, come on. And nothing. Okay, that's great. This is fine. I could just slap this thing with Aura Beam again. I could go in with Latios and Breakthrough and do some damage that way. I don't necessarily mind that either. But I think that I'll save the Latios just for when, you know, if my opponent does come up with Gallade, then I can hit the Gallade for 60 with Breakthrough. I think in the meantime, I will just Aura Beam again and just put some pressure on my opponent, make them have to find a Gallade here to deal with it. And that way, I just am already ahead of the game with the Latios. If they decide to Guzma up the Latios, that's no sweat off my back. I'll just Aura Beam them again for knockout, take 2 prizes. I really don't care. Like, that is fine. You know, putting the DCE down here, these double colorless energy can be really hard to find. Tell you what, you know, so if my opponent were to like end me or something and I hadn't attached that double colorless energy preemptively, then, you know, it might just not see the double colorless energy again. So I am going to put it down there just to kind of solidify my board position here. Just make sure that I'm good to go if and no matter what, you know, if this Ninetales gets knocked out. Because just imagine a scenario where my opponent gets the Rare Candy Gallade, they knock me out, and they end me out of the double colorless energy, and then I'm just sitting there with nothing to do. That would be pretty frustrating. So I'm gonna just make sure that that doesn't become the scenario by putting the double colorless there preemptively. Pretty sure they don't play enhanced hammers, so should be fine. Now my opponent does have the Gallade. Are they going to retreat the Gardevoir here, you know, into Gallade just to take a single prize? Like, that is rough. And you can see how good this Alolan Ninetales is against the Gardevoir deck. Ooh, they got Acerola. Oh, man. They do have their copy of Acerola there. That was super good. So, well played by my opponent. Nice little rip there. And now they're going to go down to 4 prizes. Okay. I'm not too concerned though, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get my Decidueyes out this next turn. They've only got a Gallade and 2 Ralts in play. That's not that great. So I suspect that this next turn, Latios is going to do 60 damage to the Gallade. It's going to do 30 damage to one of the Rolts, and I bet that I get to knock out one of these Rolts here with Feather Arrow next turn too, if I get lucky enough to get some of those into play. I could end my opponent here, but I think I don't. Oh, geez, drawing the extra Sycamore there really makes me want to go for the end. So I am going to end my opponent here. I would have just gone for the Sycamore there to draw more aggressively, but I can't really justify doing that just with, that's so rough. Okay, so we do have the one Decidueye here. Unfortunately, we didn't get a second one, so we're not going to be knocking out a Rolts. That is a little bit of a bummer, but we do have the Espeon here. Let's go ahead and Feather Arrow one of these Rolts, and then we're going to break through and probably damage the other one. So let's just break through. We're going to do 60. When my opponent knocks this out, fortunately, I will be able to retreat for free into Espeon here. I think I probably will attach a Rainbow Energy. I mean, I have the 2 Rainbow Energies. No, I'll save it. I don't really need to attach the Rainbow Energy yet, so let's just go ahead and break through, and we'll put the 30 damage onto the other Rolts. So I'm diversifying my damage a little bit. I just need to make sure that I get some more Decidueyes into play. The one Decidueye on turn 3 or 4 is not cutting it. I really am going to need at least 2 Decidueyes to really start racking up some damage here. Now, I do expect my opponent to knock out this Latios. The Latios is problematic for my opponent because it just does so much damage to the Gallade, and it's just really spreading to the bench. So they really do need to take care of it. They had Mr. Mime, so that's interesting. They didn't have the Mime out previously, so it wasn't able to stop that damage. They are going to evolve into Kirlia. I wonder which one they're going to pick. The one with 30 on it, that's fine. And I wonder if they are going to be able to get another Gardevoir into play. I mean, going up through the Kirlia makes it so that it's harder for me to, Espeon them after the fact. However, if I can get some Decidueyes into play, maybe if I can, if I can get some Decidueyes into play, I'm going to be able to take these guys out pretty easily. And what I'm going to do next turn is go up with the Espeon. So long as they don't Field Blower this Decidueye, the Espeon play is going to happen. And maybe I should have protected myself from the Field Blower situation by putting the Rainbow Energy onto the Tapu Lele preemptively, or putting it onto the Dartrix preemptively, or something like that, so that I could, no matter what, retreat manually. But this is the situation that I was thinking of, is just the end. I wanted to have more energy in my deck in case I got end, so that I would have a higher chance of being able to find it for the Espeon here. So fortunately, my opponent did not get the Field Blower, so I am going to be able to retreat into that Espeon. And I do have a Sycamore too, so I really wish that I had gotten that that rare candy after the Sycamore, since I'll probably end up drawing into some Decidueyes here. However, I haven't used any rare candies yet, so the odds of me getting it are pretty good. Let's, the Field Blower, let's just play it just to play it on my opponent's choice band. We're going to bench the Espeon, and then unfortunately we got to go in with that double colorless. I don't want to do that. I think that's our 3rd double colorless. Really don't want to, but I think it's, you just have to play it there just in case. We put the choice band on the Tapu Lele, and then let's just Sycamore and hope we get some Decidueyes here finally. Oh my gosh, how do we really not get it? We just got one more Decidueye. That's fine. I will be able to knock out that Kirlia, so that's good. So I'm going to be taking 2 knockouts here, but I really wish that I'd gotten one more. Ugh. I could, double Feather Arrow the Kirlia. I could just I got to take out that one. It's got more energy on it. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away the rare candy and the Ninetales. We're going to get another Decidueye, and we're going to rare candy that one. And then, I'm in a situation where all I need to do is just, I got multiple Dartrix out here. All I need to do is just draw into some more Decidueyes, and we're going to be good to go. So let's go ahead. We're going to double Feather Arrow the Kirlia. I believe that's the best choice. And then, let's see, 50, yep, 70. And then we're going to just Miraculous Shine and take ourselves 2 knockouts. You can see my opponent just smiling over here, Mr. Jeter69. They're smiling for some reason. I mean, they're probably not super stoked about what's going on. But That's the reality. If my opponent does manage to knock out this Espeon, which is a possibility, you know, if they got the rare candy, if they got the Gardevoir, and if they get like a bunch of energies, they just need like a double colorless and a fairy. So if they get rare candy, Guardy, double colorless fairy, knock out this Espeon, I am packing the return, you know, the return knockout. So that's great. I do have, you know, the Rescue Stretcher, Rainbow Energy, Floatstone, and that is like the perfect combination of cards that I need to deal with the Espeon getting knocked out. So long as my opponent does not end me here, I should be safe, like, no matter what. I should just be able to deal. No, I had the perfect hand. I should have been able to deal with it. So let's see what we get here. Hopefully my opponent does not get the cards they need in order to knock out this Espeon. Oh, they got Abyssal Hand. So we got to hope this thing just, you know, withstands this turn. Hopefully they just end up using Mumble. That's what we got to hope for here, that all they got is Mumble. They got Mumble. That's it. So Espeon is in the clear. Maybe I go for a Psyshock. Like, I could definitely Psyshock this turn. I'm going to be able to get another Decidueye into play, so that's like super cool. I think probably the move is Hollow Hunt, though. I don't think that, you know, probably that is the move. So yeah, let's just do this. Get these out of here. Get a third Decidueye, and now we are rocking and rolling. There is pretty much nothing my opponent's going to be able to do to stop me here. So they scoop, you know, I'm going for the third Decidueye. They know I got it. So that is Decidueye doing what Decidueye does best. Thank you all for watching the video. Like I said, PTCGO is a little bit weird when you compare it to like tournament formats, because at tournament, you know, tournament meta games, you know, the decks are more defined. People are playing decks that fare well against a large field of decks. But on PTCGO, I feel like you get a lot more rogue decks. You get a lot more kind of, you know, pointed decks that are just trying to take out things like Gardevoir GX and stuff like that. So, you know, I decided to play some polar deck too. You know, Decidueye's got some very polar matchups. You know, it's got a bad Garb matchup, got a bad Volcanion matchup, but a good Guardy matchup. It does really well against a lot of these rogue decks that we're seeing, like a lot of the Registeel decks, things like that. So, you know, on PTCGO, winning games is tough. You know, you got to pretty much play a deck that has some really good matchups. I feel like if you're playing a deck with a target on its back, you're going to end up playing against something that's tech just like specifically to beat you. So anyways, there's my little spiel. Thank you all for watching the video. Let me know what you guys think of these decks in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.